So today I'll be going over the most important muscles to train as a footballer. Now, I'm making this video because I remember the first time I ever stepped in the gym properly, I was probably like 13, 14, and I look back now and I'm like, I did not have a clue about what I was doing. Like I didn't have any structure, I didn't have any routine. I was just trying out different things. And I look back and I was like, I was doing a lot of exercises that weren't really, helping me as a footballer. That weren't really improving my game, weren't really making me, faster, more explosive, a more powerful athlete. A lot of just pointless, a lot of just pointless exercises. However, it was necessary though that I just get myself in the gym. Just get into that routine, and then eventually I sort of just started to come to grips with it. Just started, searching on YouTube, um, the different exercises, what ones worked for me. But today I'm trying to make it easier for you guys, and just sort of just showing you, okay, cool. These are the fundamental exercises. These are the main muscle groups that you need in order to become a more powerful footballer. And the first muscle group is obviously, let's start with the obvious one, is obviously your legs. Now, obviously your legs aren't just one muscle. I've divided them into three different categories. So let's start with your quads. Now, obviously everyone knows your quads is kind of obvious. That's where the power. That's where you generate the power. That's where, to run, to change direction, to jump up for headers. So now for your quads, the main exercise I would recommend is literally, if you're in the gym, literally a barbell back squat and then a Bulgarian split squat. Those are the two you need. Obviously, you need a barbell back squat. That just sort of builds your fundamental strength. That just sort of just try to progress the weight on the barbell back squat every single time. That's sort of just your fundamental strength. And then also with the split squats, in my opinion, you need to include barbell split squats as well, so that you can actually work on your balance. Because obviously in football, you're not always just going to be doing things off of two legs. You're going to be mainly doing things off of one leg. So make sure you focus on, I would say, the Bulgarian split squat, because it's the easiest to sort of, when you're starting out in the gym, it's the easiest to get it's the easiest sort of split squat variation to get the hang of. So literally barbell back squat and then Bulgarian split squat. Because obviously the first time you do a Bulgarian split squat, you might start wobbling with, obviously you do these with dumbbells, so you might start wobbling with the weights. Maybe you're trying to balance on your left foot, you can't really balance, and it will take time, to be fair, but trust me, because eventually you'll get it. Because it happened to me when I first did the Bulgarian split squat, and I was trying to balance off of one leg. I kept wobbling. I kept trying to, go down and lunge. I kept wobbling. But eventually your balance gets better over time, and trust me, you can just increase the weight. So those are the two. Quad exercises. Then also, if you're outside of the gym as well, you can do certain. Let's say you don't have access to a gym, but you still want to, get more powerful, get more explosive. In my opinion, you should do squat jumps, and then burpees. Those are the two I'd recommend to, gain athleticism, gain explosiveness. Then we're gonna move on to your hamstrings now. Hamstrings hamstrings, in my opinion, is very important, because there's a reason why a lot of footballers pull their hamstrings. Because as footballers, when we're on the football pitch, we're mostly using our quads. So there's always sort of like I remember I was learning about this. There's always sort of like an imbalance, sort of like, apparently with a lot of footballers, their quads are like really big, really developed, but then their hamstrings aren't really developed, because obviously your hamstrings are behind your body. You don't really do much in football with the ball behind you. Everything's in front of you in football, so you're mainly using your quads. So you need to build up your hamstrings so you don't really pull them, so nothing really happens to them, so they're not weak essentially. And the main exercises for hamstrings in the gym is literally, in my opinion, is RDLs, deadlifts, and then a trap bar deadlift. In my opinion, you should do a trap bar deadlift instead of a normal deadlift, because a trap bar deadlift is just sort of sports realistic. You can explode way faster with a trap bar deadlift. And yes, and obviously it's an easier technique to learn. I feel like with a deadlift you have to, take time to learn the technique, and that can just be long. You don't really need that. So let me cut it down. You should just do RDLs, and you should just do a trap bar deadlift for your hamstrings, in my opinion. And then obviously the last one, we got your glutes. Now a lot of people a lot of people underestimate the glutes. Your glutes are literally the most important part, the largest muscle in your body. Sorry, they're the largest muscle in your body. So in my opinion, you have to at least have one exercise where you're sort of isolating your glutes, because obviously that's where most of your power comes from. If you look at most elite sprinters, they don't really have big legs, but they have developed glutes, because like I said, that's the biggest part of the body. the biggest muscle in your body. That's where all your power comes from. So the exercise to strengthen your glutes is literally the barbell hip thrust. Now, the barbell hip thrust. Now, I've said before, there's a connotation in the gym that only girls do this exercises. You see a lot of girls. I can't lie, in the gym. You see a lot of girls. These men have like 4 plates on each side of the thing, and it's crazy. But to be fair, if you actually look online, all the elite athletes from different sports, UFC fighters, basketball players, boxers, they all do hip thrust because they know that, like I said, the glute is the biggest muscle in the body, and that's where you generate all your power. So, in my opinion, those are the exercises you should do for legs, for your quads, for your hamstrings, and like I said, don't forget your glutes because obviously, like I said, a lot of people in the gym, they're afraid of being called gay in the gym or this or that. Other people saying that the hip thrust is only for girls, but trust me, it's gonna help you in the long run. So, like I said, just go in the gym, just do that. Fuck what anyone else says. If it's gonna help your game, it's gonna help your game. If you see other athletes doing it, then it must be helpful at least to some extent. So those are the exercises for your legs. Now, number two, it's two muscle groups. I've sort of just slapped them together, and in my opinion, it's your back and your shoulders. Now, the reason why I think you should really focus on your back and your shoulders is because they just both give you that power in your stride. Because obviously, your back sort of just stabilizes your body, it gives you that good posture and just good running form that'll make you run faster. And then obviously, with your shoulders, when you're striding, it just sort of gives you that drive, that power, that power in your stride that'll make you faster, more explosive. Like I said, so for your back, I'd say just do the standard things. I'd say do pull-ups, do chin-ups, and then I'd also say do any form of rolls. This can be a barbell roll or a dumbbell roll. In my opinion, those sort of three variations are the best to develop your back. You don't really need anything other than those. Those are the things I do. Those are the fundamentals, and trust me, I feel like they've actually helped me a lot. So, like I said, for your back, it's literally just pull ups, chin ups, and then any sort of roll, whether it be barbell or whether it be dumbbell. And then for your shoulders, literally shoulders is very simple. Literally just a standard military press. Literally just get the barbell and just put however much weight you can handle. Just stand there, just stand there, hold the barbell, or it can be dumbbells as well, and literally just press above your shoulders. And trust me, that'll completely build the strength in your shoulders. And then obviously, for your shoulders as well, you can do different sort of with your shoulders. Your shoulders get hit with most push movements anyway, so you can literally do a bench press if you want to hit your shoulders, or even push-ups to hit your shoulders. So yeah, those are the next two muscles in my opinion you have to work as a footballer. Literally your back and your shoulders, and these are literally just for your just have having good posture, helps your running form, and like I said, your shoulders just helps you have more explosiveness in your strides. And then the last muscle group you have to hit is your abs slash your core. Now, obviously, we all know your abs and your core. This is essential. This sort of just maintains your whole body, just keeps everything in balance. It helps you keep balance when you're changing directions, especially in football. If you don't have a strong core in football, you're gonna struggle in any sport. To be honest, the core is probably sort of just athletic ability. The core is probably the strongest, literally just the most important muscle, the strongest muscle. There's a reason why most athletes, most sprinters, footballers, UFC fighters, boxers, they all just have a six pack. They all just have strong cores, just strong abdominal strength. So, in my opinion, the exercise you need to do to increase your core strength, number one, normal sit-ups. You can literally just do normal sit-ups, and if you're in the gym as well, you can try add weight to yourself. Literally just get a plate and you can just start adding weight to yourself while you're doing just your normal sit-ups. Then also you can do a hanging bent knee raise. Now obviously you're probably gonna have to work up to this. So obviously there are different variations that you can do, but like I said, just you can start with the easiest variation and then sort of just work your way up there. And then lastly is rotation. Now your core is essential for rotation. Like I said before, that change in direction, the change of direction, sort of that agility aspect. You need to train rotation for your core. Now, if you're in the gym, you could literally there's a cable machine. You can literally use the cable machine and sort of just get a handle and sort of just whatever weight you need, whatever weight you can handle. Like I said, and literally just twist with it. Literally just twist with it like that. do a couple reps that side and do a couple reps that side. Or if you don't want to do that, you can always get you can always get either like a kettlebell or like a or one of them, what's it called, one of them medicine balls, and this you just sit down and this you just rotate with that, because obviously that'll hit your obliques. Your obliques are basically those, if you've ever seen them, they're those muscles at the side of your core. Obviously they still count as the core, but they're those muscles that you see on the side. And obviously, like I said, training those rotational muscles is essential in all sports. Just that helps that change of just helps that change of direction, like I said. So those are the exercises for your core. Literally, you can do normal sit-ups and then add weight to them. A hanging bent knee raise, or just a normal hanging leg raise, and then just working on your obliques. Literally, you can either do cable rotation or you can do rotation with a medicine ball. Literally, with the medicine ball, you can sit down with it, or you can do the one where you can throw it at the wall. I think the one where you throw it at the wall, that's probably the most effective one. But obviously, I know you probably don't want to make that noise. And if you don't want to make that noise in the gym, bring attention to yourself. You can always just do, like I said, either the cable ones or the one where you're sitting down with the medicine ball and you're just rotating like this. And so yeah, in my opinion, those are the most important muscle groups for a footballer. Obviously, you've got other things like bicep, like chest, but I didn't want to include them because I don't think they're essential. I don't think they'll actually, they actually help you as a footballer. Now, I'm not saying you don't train them. In my opinion, you should train every single muscle, but these are the four that you should have your close attention on. Like I said, your legs especially, core especially, and then back slash shoulders especially. Now if you're a young player, you probably don't go to the gym that often. You probably don't have the time. Like there's probably days where you have school, then you have football training, and or like I said, it's basically just school. School just takes up so much time. I'll be real. I look back on it and I'm like, yo, it just takes out so much time. And then and then some days you come back from school, you're knackered, you had exams, or you need to go home and revise for exam. Like I get it. So as a young player, you probably, as me personally, I remember I only used to have about 3 or 4 days in the gym. So what I'd say for you is, if you only have 3 or 4 days in the gym, I'd say, let's say you have 3 days. Let's say you have 3 days. I'd personally do two leg days, and then have a day where I focus on improving my back and my shoulders, and then sprinkle the ab exercises within each day. You understand? That's personally what I would do. Or if you have 4 days though, I'd personally do legs. I personally do legs one day, work on my legs one day, work on my back, do back and abs the next day, do shoulders and abs the next day, and then do legs again. That's what I do if I had 4 days. So I'll do two. If I had 4 days, if you have 4 days in the gym, I do two legs, two leg days, work on my back and my core, and then work on my shoulders and my core. That's what I do. Like I said, if you want to find a routine where you wanna include biceps, you wanna include your chest as well. You wanna try work on your traps, do all of that. Like I said, those are not essential muscles, but if you can do them, you can do them at a later date. But I'm just talking about if you're just starting off at the gym as a footballer, if you just wanna just try to get as strong as possible. In my opinion, these are sort of the essential four muscle groups that you should be working on in the gym. Well, last time I repeat them, it's your legs, your back, your shoulders, and then your core exercises. But that's all I've got to say for this vid. Hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.